Safeco Field is a retractable roof baseball stadium located in Seattle, Washington. Owned and operated by the Washington State Major League Baseball Stadium Public Facilities District, it is the home stadium of the Seattle Mariners of Major League Baseball and has a seating capacity of 47,574 for baseball. It is located in Seattle's SoDo neighborhood, near the western terminus of Interstate 90, and hosted its first game 16 years ago on July 15, 1999. During the 1990s, the suitability of the Mariners' original stadium the Kingdome as an MLB facility came under doubt, and the team's ownership group threatened to relocate the team. In September 1995, King County voters defeated a ballot measure to secure public funding for a new baseball stadium. Shortly thereafter, the Mariners' first appearance in the MLB postseason and their victory in the 1995 American League Division Series renewed a public desire to keep the team in town. As a result, the Washington State Legislature approved an alternate means of funding for the stadium with public money. The site for the stadium, just south of the Kingdome, was selected in September 1996 and construction began in March 1997. Aside from the Mariners, Safeco Field is also used for amateur baseball events including the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association High School State Championships and one Washington Huskies game postseason. Major non-baseball events that have been held at Safeco Field include the 2001 Seattle Bowl, as well as WrestleMania 19 in 2003, which attracted the stadium's record attendance of 54,097. Naming rights to the stadium are owned by Seattle-based Safeco Insurance. Safeco reportedly paid $40 million to have its name on the stadium for 20 years. The bonds issued to finance Safeco Field were retired on October 1, 2011, 5 years earlier than anticipated. Location and transportation: Safeco Field is located in the SoDo district of downtown Seattle, bounded by Dave Niehaus Way south to the west, and Edgar Martinez Drive S to the south, S. Royal Brome Way to the north, and BNSF Railroad tracks to the east. The stadium is located near the western terminus of Interstate 90. Parking is available at the stadium's parking garage located across Edgar Martinez Drive, the CenturyLink Field garage to the north, as well as other privately operated lots in the area. Public transportation is available along the arterial streets surrounding the stadium. Additionally, the stadium is convenient to Sound commuter rail service at nearby King Street Station. Safeco Field is also served by Sound Transit's Central Link light rail line and local Metro bus routes via the nearby stadium station. History: on March 30, 1994, King County Executive Gary Locke appointed a task force to assess the need for a new baseball stadium to replace the rapidly deteriorating Kingdome. Many feared that the Mariners would leave Seattle if a new stadium was not built. In January 1995, the 28-member task force recommended to the King County Council that the public should be involved in the financing of the stadium. The task force concluded that a sales tax increase of 0.01% would be sufficient to fund the stadium. King County held a special election in September 1995, asking the public for this sales tax increase. The measure was narrowly defeated. On October 14, 1995, a special session of the state legislature authorized a different funding package for a new stadium that included a food and beverage tax in King County restaurants and bars, car rental surcharge in King County, a ballpark admissions tax, a credit against the state sales tax, and sale of a special stadium license plate. 9 days later, the King County Council approved the funding package and established the Washington State Major League Baseball Stadium Public Facilities District to own the ballpark and oversee design and construction. Taxpayer suits opposing the legislative actions and the taxes failed in the courts. On September 9, 1996, the site was selected for the new stadium, just south of the Kingdome. In late fall, several members of the King County Council wrote a letter to the Seattle Mariners, stating that officials consider postponing construction and the opening of the $384.5 million stadium project. In response, Mariners ownership held a news conference stating that they would either sell the team, or move the team from Seattle. After a public outcry, the King County Council voted to reaffirm their cooperation with the Mariners in building a new stadium. Mariners ownership contributed $145 million to cover cost overruns. Construction officially began on March 8, 1997 with a groundbreaking ceremony featuring Mariners star Ken Griffey, Jr. The construction, overseen by Chief Financial Officer Kevin Mather, continued until July 1999. The first game in the new stadium was played on July 15, 1999 against the San Diego Padres. The Padres won, 3-2. Before the stadium was initially christened, the naming rights to the stadium were sold for advertising. Seattle-based Safeco Insurance Company paid $40 million for the naming rights for the ballpark's first 20 years. However, the acquisition of the Safeco Company by Boston-based Liberty Mutual Group has opened the distant possibility that the name could be changed before the contract expires in 2019. However, experts speculate this will only happen if Liberty Mutual retires the Safeco name during that time. When Ken Griffey, Jr., returned to Safeco in 2007 with the Cincinnati Reds, he came to a hero's welcome, receiving gifts from the Mariners organization, and fellow former players Jay Biner and Edgar Martinez. They unveiled a new poster that declared Safeco Field the house that Griffey built. The Mariners moved the fences at Safeco Field closer to home plate as of the 2013 season to create an environment that is fair for both hitters and pitchers, according to General Manager Jack Zduriencik. The centerfield scoreboard and ad panels were replaced with an 11,435 square foot board in the same renovation, becoming the largest among all stadium scoreboards in the major leagues. The remodeled field debuted on April 8, 2013 between the Mariners and Houston Astros. Safeco had been considered one of the most pitcher-friendly ballparks in the majors since it opened, though the 2013 remodeling involved shrinking the field. Features. Like most ballparks built from the 1990s onward, Safeco Field is a retro-modern style ballpark that incorporates many of the features of ballparks built in the 1950s and earlier with modern amenities. In contrast with the Kingdome and the other multi-purpose stadiums built primarily during the 1960s and 1970s, Safeco Field features a brick four-section aid, an asymmetrical field dimension, a natural grass field, spectator sightlines more suited for baseball, and is surrounded by city streets, a railroad line, and buildings. On a modern note, the ballpark features a retractable roof, luxury suites, extensive food and beverage selection beyond traditional ballpark fare, and modern clubhouse amenities for players, as well as technology that allows spectators to monitor special game time features with Nintendo DS receivers, and is fully ADA accessible. Layout. The stadium has four main gates open to all ticket holders during Mariners games, located at the southwest, northwest, northeast, and southeast corners. These are identified as home plate, left field, center field, and right field, respectively. Entry to all ticket holders is also available through the Mariners team store off First Avenue and at the pen entry behind the bullpens in left field. Special entrances for media and holders of certain ticket levels are located on the southwest and south sides of the stadium. There are 5 main levels to the stadium: field, main concourse, club level, suite level, and upper concourse. 2 bleacher sections are located above left field and below the center field scoreboard, with 3,721 seats. The broadcast center is located on the club level and sub-level between it and the main level. As the field is approximately at street level, entry into any of the main gates requires visitors to ascend a flight of stairs, escalator, or elevator to access the main concourse, with the exception of the right field entry, which opens onto the main concourse. Stairs, escalators, elevators, and ramps located around the ballpark provide access to all levels. Seating capacity: 47,116, 47,447, 47,878, 47,860, 47,476, 47,574, 54,097. Food service Safeco Field has an extensive food and beverage selection above and beyond the traditional ballpark fare of hot dogs, pizza, soda, and beer. Concession stands selling traditional ballpark fare are plentiful on the main and upper concourses. Food courts behind home plate on the main concourse, as well as in the pen located on the street level inside the center field gate, sell items such as sushi, burritos, teriyaki, stir fries, pad thai, garlic fries, crepes, health food, seafood, and barbecue. An extensive selection of beer can also be found in those locations, as well as a location on the upper concourse. Due to the fact that Nintendo of America owns the team, you may order your food with a Nintendo DS app called Nintendo Fan Network. Several restaurants and food services are available exclusively for fans purchasing certain ticket levels. The Diamond Club is located on the field level behind home plate. Diamond Club seats are located in the first 8 rows behind home plate. Holders of these seats are entitled to VIP parking in the Safeco Field garage, a private entry to the ballpark on the field level, and access to the Diamond Club lounge with buffet and bar. The lounge is decorated with Babe Ruth memorabilia. Diamond Club seats are sold on a full season, 20-game, and single-game basis. 70 group and individual suites occupy an entire level of the ballpark. Open only to holders of suite-level tickets, each suite features a private waitstaff and concierge service. Holders of suite-level tickets are also entitled to a private entry to the ballpark. Suite-level tickets are available on a full season, partial season, or individual game basis. The Wells Fargo Terrace Club occupies another entire level of the ballpark. Open only to holders of Terrace Club seats and certain other ticket levels, the club features 2 lounges and wait service to each seat. As with suite-level tickets, holders of Terrace Club seats are also entitled to a private entry to the ballpark. Terrace Club seats are also available on full season, partial season, or individual game basis. The Hit It Here Cafe copyright is located in right field, on the same level as the Terrace Club. Open to all visitors before game time on a first-come, first-served basis, the cafe copyright is only open to holders of tickets in the cafe copyright during games. Hit It Here Cafe copyright tickets are only sold on an individual game basis. Retractable roof Safeco Field has a unique retractable roof that only acts as an umbrella for the stands and field rather than forming a complete climate-controlled enclosure, as is the case with all other retractable roofs in Major League Baseball. Seattle's relatively mild climate means the park rarely needs to be heated or cooled, but frequent precipitation necessitated a roof. The roof is sometimes closed, however, in dry weather when the temperature is particularly low. On cold nights, closing the roof helps prevent radiation heat loss. The only other covered baseball stadium in the world with permanent openings is the fixed-roof SoDo in Tokorozawa, Saitama, Japan, home of the Saitama SoDo Lions. In the open position, the roof rests over the BNSF railway tracks that bound the stadium to the east, with part of it hanging over the stands in right field. This has the effect of echoing the whistles from passing trains into the stadium. Train whistles were a frequent fixture of the Safeco Field experience initially, but abated significantly when an overpass was built for Royal Brome Way, the street that bounds the stadium to the north which previously crossed the tracks. The roof consists of 3 major sections that extend into the closed position in a telescoping manner, with the 2 outer sections resting under the larger center section. Each section rests on a set of parallel tracks located on the north and south sides of the stadium, with the outer sections moving along the inner set of tracks, and the center section moving along the outer set. Each section is structurally independent. That is, no section depends on another for structural stability. Welcome to Safeco Field, Seattle is painted on top of the center section, visible from aircraft whether the roof is open or closed. A lighted Safeco Field sign was added to the east side of the roof in 2007, which aids in identification of the stadium from the freeways to the east. Each section is independently powered by electric motors that move the respective sections along the tracks. It is controlled from a central control room located under the center field scoreboard. Depending on wind and weather conditions, the roof takes approximately 10 minutes to move from the fully open to the fully closed position, and vice versa. The roof movement is nearly silent, blending in with the ambient noise typically present during a game. During normal operation, the movement of each section is governed by computers, with all three sections moving at the same time. During an emergency or maintenance operation, each section can be independently moved. A working spare motor and roll assembly for the roof can be found inside the center field gate. In its present state, it serves to educate visitors on how the roof operates, but if needed, it can be used to replace a similar part on the roof should one become damaged or defective. On April 7, 2013, Total Pro Sports voted Safeco Field the 8th best place to catch a game in 2013, mainly owing the award to the design of Safeco's retractable roof. Ground rules concerning the roof: batted ball striking the roof or roof trusses. A ball striking the roof or roof truss in fair territory is judged fair or foul in relation to where it lands. A ball striking the roof or roof truss in foul territory is a foul ball, regardless of where it lands. A ball striking the roof or roof truss is still considered in flight, and the batter is out if legally caught by a fielder, regardless of where it struck. Movement of the roof: if the game starts with the roof open, it may be closed during the game if weather conditions warrant, and at the discretion of the home team. Play may continue during closure, unless the umpires determine it is necessary to stop play. If the game starts with the roof closed, it may be opened during the game if weather conditions warrant. Opening the roof can only start between innings, after notification of the umpire crew chief. The visiting team may challenge the decision to open the roof, but final decision over whether to open the roof lies with the crew chief. The roof may only be opened once during a game. Scoreboards. Safeco Field features a manual scoreboard, a light-emitting diode video display, the largest HD video display scoreboard in MLB, a color LED out-of-town scoreboard, and LED ribbon boards along the first, third, and hit-it-here cafe facade. The old-fashioned manually operated scoreboard is located in left field. Also, between left and left center fields, suspended over both bullpens, is a color LED out-of-town scoreboard. In addition to scores, runners on base and counts are displayed. This scoreboard also displays pitcher information when a relief pitcher enters the game, identifies any pitchers that may be warming up, displays information such as an abbreviated box score of a selected out-of-town game, or statistical information such as season home run leaders. It also displays NHL, NFL and NBA scores during the parts of the baseball season that overlap with the regular season and/or playoffs of those sports. The new HD main scoreboard above the center field bleachers is 201 feet wide, over 11,000 square feet in area, the largest screen in use by any MLB team and the 23rd largest video screen in the world. The board can be used either all at once, or can be split into sections for displaying information such as statistics and advertisements. Hit-it-here cafe LED fascia display, which displays hitter and pitcher matchup statistics. Color LED scoreboards run along the terrace club fascia. These have full animation capability, but usually display score and inning, batter information and count, outcome of previous at-bats of the current inning, pitcher name, pitch count, first pitch data, and pitch speed. Time of day, advertising. Additionally, television screens showing the local telecast of the game hang from the bottom of the terrace club level, for spectators seated in the last several rows of the main concourse seating areas, as well as those standing on the main concourse. Though fans in these areas have a full view of the field, their view of the scoreboards is obstructed by the overhang of the terrace club level. These screens display the content shown on the video board between innings or when the telecast is on a commercial break. Art in the park. Safeco Field and its adjoining parking garage feature extensive public art displays, including a chandelier made of 1,000 resin baseball bats above the home plate entry. A companion 27-foot diameter compass rose mosaic at the home plate rotunda captures a number of elements in the history of baseball. quilts depicting each MLB team logo, made from recycled metal including license plates from the respective team states. Stainless steel cutouts of players in various poses while catching, batting, fielding, and pitching, integrated into the fences at the stadium's 4 main gates. Sculptures depicting hands gripping baseballs for various types of pitches along the west facade of the garage. A 9-foot-tall bronze baseball glove, the mitt, that has become an icon for Safeco Field. The defining moment, a mural depicting Edgar Martinez's famed The Double. Children's Hospital Wishing Well, which features a bronze statue of a child in batting position, and includes a geyser effect used at the beginning of games and when the opposing team hits a home run. Porcelain enamel on steel flag-mounted banner panels depicting positions of the field. Baseball Museum of the Pacific Northwest. The Baseball Museum of the Pacific Northwest pays homage to now-defunct professional baseball teams that played in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and British Columbia before the establishment of the Mariners in 1977. Additionally, it features hands-on displays explaining the composition of baseballs and bats, and the different types of gloves, as well as a replica outfield fence with props to allow fans to photograph themselves pretending to be outfielders. Mariners Hall of Fame. Co-located with the Baseball Museum of the Pacific Northwest, the Mariners Hall of Fame features bronze plaques of the 9 inducted members: Alvin Davis, broadcaster Dave Niehaus, Jay Biner, Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson, Dan Wilson, Ken Griffey, Jr., Lou Piniella and Jamie Moyer. Those plaques describe their contributions to the franchise, as well as murals and television screens showing highlights of their careers with the Mariners. Dave Niehaus statue. A bronze statue of late Seattle Mariners broadcaster Dave Niehaus was unveiled Friday, September 16, 2011 at Safeco Field. The statue captures the Hall of Fame broadcaster who broadcast 5,284 Mariners games over 34 seasons at a desk, behind a microphone, wearing headphones with his Mariners scorebook in front of him. His scorebook is open to the box score for Game 5 of the 1995 American League Division Series, when Edgar Martinez hit the double. There is an empty seat next to the statue, so fans can sit next to Dave and pose for photos. Dave's longtime broadcast partner Rick Rice presided over a private ceremony to unveil the statue. The Dave Niehaus Broadcast Center is located on the club level behind home plate. When Niehaus died, his headset and microphone were placed by his empty seat in the broadcast center as a tribute. Other features. The flagship Mariners team store is located on the west side of the stadium. The first level of the store, on the street level, sells a comprehensive assortment of Mariners merchandise, while the upper level, on the main concourse, displays game-used items for sale, as well as a custom jersey embroidery station. Other stores include the Kids Clubhouse at the northeast corner on the main concourse, a walk-in store at the southwest corner on the upper concourse, a store near the bridge from the parking garage on the club level, and kiosks throughout the ballpark. Children's Hospital Playfield is a playground for children located at the northeast corner of the stadium on the main concourse. Also located in this area is Moose's Munchies, a concession stand selling ballpark fare in child-sized portions. The Moose Den, located on the main concourse near the Children's Hospital Playfield, is a meet and greet area for the Mariner Moose, the team's mascot. An analog clock is integrated into the Mariners' Compass Rose logo above the left field bleachers. Free Wi-Fi was added prior to the 2015 season. Safeco Field tours. Safeco Field also gives walking tours of the stadium for a small fee. Departing from the main team store, the tour includes information about the stadium not generally provided at games, as well as entry into areas not open to the general public during games, including the visitors' clubhouse, playing field and dugouts, Dave Niehaus Broadcast Center, and a luxury suite. Notable events at Safeco Field. Major League. Safeco Field has hosted playoff games in 2 seasons, 2000, when the Mariners won the American League Wild Card, and again in 2001, when they won the American League West while tying a Major League record by winning 116 games. In 2000, the Mariners defeated the Chicago White Sox in the American League Division Series 3-0, but were defeated by the New York Yankees in the American League Championship Series, 4-2. The following year, the Mariners defeated the Cleveland Indians 3-2 in the ALDS, but were again defeated by the Yankees in the ALCS, 4-1. The World Series has never been played at Safeco. Safeco Field also hosted the 2001 MLB All-Star Game. The American League defeated the National League, 4-1. Cal Ripken, Jr. of the AL's Baltimore Orioles was the game's MVP. A bronze plaque in the visitors' bullpen now marks the location where Ripken hit the final All-Star Game home run of his Hall of Fame career. On October 1, 2004, Ichiro Suzuki collected his 258th hit of the season at Safeco, breaking the 84-year-old single-season hit record of 257 previously held by George Sisler. Sisler, who died in 1973, was represented at the game by his daughter, and 4 other family members. Ichiro would go on to finish the season with 262 hits. On April 15, 2009, Ken Griffey, Jr. became the first player in franchise history to have hit 400 home runs. He homered in the 5th inning off the Angels' Jerd Weaver, en route to an 11-3 triumph. The Mariners' 2011 Interleague Series with the Florida Marlins was moved to Safeco Field due to a scheduling conflict with rock band U2 at Sun Life Stadium. With the Marlins officially designated as the home team, the designated hitter rule was not in effect, marking the first time that a game was played under such rules at an American League stadium in modern interleague play. Far copyright Lix Hernandez became the first pitcher to record a hit at Safeco Field. On April 21, 2012, Philip Humber of the Chicago White Sox threw a perfect game against the Mariners, marking the 21st time a perfect game has been thrown. This also marks the first perfect game and no-hitter at Safeco Field. On June 8, 2012, 6 Mariners pitchers threw a combined no-hitter against the Los Angeles Dodgers, marking the third no-hitter thrown by the Mariners, and the first one to be accomplished at Safeco Field. On August 15, 2012, Mariners pitcher far copyright Lix Hernandez pitched the 23rd perfect game in Major League Baseball history and the first perfect game in Seattle Mariners history. This marks the second perfect game and third no-hitter at Safeco Field, all of which have occurred in the 2012 season. It also made Safeco Field the first park ever to play host to 2 perfect games in the same season. On August 10, 2013, Ken Griffey Jr. became the 7th member inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame. Joining a group that includes Alvin Davis, Dave Niehaus, Jay Biner, Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson and Dan Wilson. College baseball On May 4, 2007, an NCAA Pacific 10 Conference baseball attendance record was set at Safeco Field, when the Washington Huskies hosted defending conference champion Oregon State in front of 10,421 spectators. Washington won the game 6-2. Safeco was the venue for the 2001 incarnation of the short-lived Seattle Bowl college football game. On March 30, 2003, Safeco was host to WrestleMania 19, which set an all-time record attendance for Safeco Field of 54,097. On September 16, 2008, the Beach Boys performed in the stadium's first concert, although it was not open to the public. The stadium was the home to the Microsoft annual employee meeting until 2012, attracting over 20,000 employees. Paul McCartney's Out There concert on July 19, 2013 marked the stadium's first public concert. With a crowd of 47,000, the concert also featured former Nirvana members on a performance of the song Cut Me Some Slack. Gallery. See also: Rick the Peanut Man Kaminsky. Footnotes. External links: Stadium site on Mariners.com, video of Safeco Field, showed the roof open and close in time-lapse, Safeco Field seating chart, ESPN review.